I get asked all the time, how do I crush poker? What do I study? How do I actually become a crusher and use poker to change my life for the better? This one's for you. The answer is serious consistency. Check this vid out.
99 to 05, 99 to 06, basically straight without missing a single day, 365 days a year. During that time, we were averaging about 10 workouts a week, 7 days a week. And we would go from 5 to 7, 9 to 11, and a 3 to 5, all in pool, and then have a weight session afterwards. So we're doing 4 workouts a day. Over 24 days, we're probably working out with weights 75 times. Basically, all we did was eat, sleep, swim, and lift. That's all I did. I saw myself improving so much because we weren't taking a day off. And in sports swimming, if you miss one day, it takes you 2 days to get back to where you were.
He has won the most Olympic gold medals out of anyone that's ever lived. And he's dead right. Poker is exactly the same as swimming, exactly the same as anything. Every day that you take off roughly sets you back about 2 days. I feel that, and personally it takes me about 3 days to actually feel like I'm really on top of my game. And every day that I'm consistently playing and studying after that increases my skill exponentially. If I take one day off, I either go back to the start or I go back a couple of days in terms of progress. Every day that you take off roughly sets you back about 2 days. I feel that, and personally it takes me about 3 days to actually feel like I'm really on top of my game. And every day that I'm consistently playing and studying after that increases my skill exponentially. If I take one day off, I either go back to the start or I go back a couple of days in terms of progress. So to crush any stakes, especially low and mid stakes, you need to play and study. You need to do both. It's non-negotiable. You can't just do one. And here's why. Crushing poker is all about building databases. No one ever talks about this, but you need a center where you can relive all of your highest pressure moments, all of the times when you failed, where you punted, where you played really well, where you see the player types that you're struggling most against. The list goes on. You optimize performance from every session that you get by not forgetting what happened, by reliving, by learning, by running the spots in the solver, and more than anything, gaining evidence on what your biggest strengths and biggest weaknesses are within your current game. And that is always going to give you a sense of direction, knowing what to focus on and knowing where the highest EV lies in what to study. Almost anyone that asks me what they need to study doesn't have a database. They don't have this place, whether it be OneNote, basically a place like Microsoft Word that actually works better than Microsoft Word, Evernote, OneNote. Here's what mine looks like. I have a place where I'm storing all my spots. I turn up every morning and I see what are the biggest spots, what are the biggest leaks in my game. Is it open jamming? Is it calling open jams? Is it final tables? Is it 3-betting from the small blind or the big blind? Whatever it is and is coming up most often, I would consider is my biggest leak. I then use things like Hold'em Resources, GTO Wizard, Pile Solver, running spots with other pros, surrounding myself with other top players to fix whatever it is that the data shows are my biggest leaks, in my best opinion. I'd recommend separating tournament poker into the 5 mini games that it really is. You've got chip EV, you've got pre-bubble, bubble, post-bubble, and kind of semi-final, quarter-final tables, but semi-final tables are the most important out of those. And then you've got final tables. Each one of those is a different mini game. They all have different ICM, the strategy changes, how you exploit different player types given what stack size, given the payouts, blah, 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 changes in every single one of them. So your ability to build a database is basically mastering each one of these mini games, and to start with, basically getting as good at final tables and semi-final tables as you possibly can. That's always going to be your highest EV skill set. So for anybody stuck not knowing what to study, final tables, semi-final tables, if you're not getting there at all, late reg and short stack play on how to build up stacks from 5 big blinds to 12 big blinds. Study those relentlessly. If you turn up and run spots on ICMizer MTT or sit and go coach, can't remember which one it's called now, that will get you really good at short stack. running HRC, running these spots, knowing exactly when to min raise, when to call, when to open jam will get you really good. Focus there first if you're really struggling to make final tables. If you wanted to get really good at running, you might look into your diet, look into the technique of how you run, study a little bit, and then you run. The same is true with poker. If you don't play, you don't gain data. That's why you need to scale as many tables as you can once you get to at least a break-even player, because all you need to do then is study, and the data will start showing you your biggest weaknesses and your biggest strengths by what you've recorded. Just get good at that process and put in the numbers. If you don't play poker and you only study, you can be a coach, you can be a student of the game, but you are not a poker player. And if you only play poker, you're gonna find it difficult to keep your love for the game because it's gonna get boring, stale, you're gonna be on autopilot because you never reflect and improve on the mistakes that you're making in general without putting the time into study. And for 90% of people watching, they would be able to sit down and answer what they need to do in order for it to be unreasonable that they don't succeed and thrive in this game. And I bet it would be doing a lot of the things that I mentioned in this video, aka building a strong database, turning up to play, putting the numbers in, studying, getting better, and matching that with real consistency. You'll just start to crush, because nobody does it. But if you want to thrive in competitive environments, that's just what it takes. Because somebody always will, and you will play against them, you will find them, and then they'll make you question, is turning up every now and then really enough for you to be good? No, I don't know anybody of any level where that's true. Lastly, to speed up this whole process, most players are going to want to surround themselves by players who are way higher level than them. If they are friends, a coach, whatever it is, I'm not trying to say you have to get me as a coach, no. But it does save a hell of a lot of time having people who are experienced and who are better than you around you as much as you possibly can. It helps you turn up, stay accountable, and actually improve at the right things the quickest. Personally, I think if you invest £1,000, £2,000 in a coach and they don't give you multiple times your earnings and you're consistent and do exactly what you say, you're either really bad or you've found a coach that is really bad. And if you can do that for free, or if you can do that in person through someone you know, that is the dream. Because at the end of the day, anybody who does really well is surrounded by people who are really good and who get the most out of them. Michael Phelps had a whole team of people and teammates that allowed him to turn up and made those horrible days actually bearable. The lone wolf mentality will only ever slow you down. Good luck to everyone watching. I hope this helps, and I'll try and help as many people on this channel for free by posting things that help me the most and that help my students the most. Good luck.